welcome back everyone. You already know who this is, and that's right. I have another unboxing video for you guys. And as you guys see in the title and on the box too, if this camera will focus, there we go. It's the MonsterArts Godzilla 2016, aka Shin Godzilla, the Fourth Awakening version, aka the Atomic Breath version, from the most iconic scene in the entire film and franchise history in general, because that scene was magnificent. That climax, beautiful, and Who Will Know in the background music. Wow. Even though personally I like Persecution of the Masses more than Who Will Know, but that's just me. But anyways, I just got back from work. It's like midnight right now, and currently munching down on some Lay's potato chips, the classic ones, as well as Coca-Cola, even though in my opinion Pepsi is way better. Sorry, not sorry, but I gotta say it, Pepsi's better than Coca. Anyways, not sponsored by the way, but yeah, let's get straight into the unboxing. And my cat decided to join in. Yep, there she is. Hello. Here we go again. You just have to get in the way, huh? Everybody say hi to my cat, Ina. That's my daughter. Anyway, let's get into the unboxing. Yeah, I'll be right back when she comes on. Okay, so I had to cut out the tape off camera because A, there was a bunch of it, and B, my cat is still in the way. Gotta love her, right? Yep. So yeah, let's open him up. And there's the top of the box. Let's go. Let's go, everyone. Alright, let's get this out of the fucking way. There we go. Godzilla 2016, the Fourth Awakening version, Shin Godzilla. You are not gonna move, are you? Yep. Okay, let's see if I can do this with one hand and with my cat on my freaking legs. Yes, you. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. So what I gotta do is I gotta flip it this way, and then lift it up so the actual box can come out of this brown box. Bandai Premium exclusive, I think. I don't remember what it's called, but I think it's called Bandai Premium, who's involved with these brown boxes. But anyways, let's see if I can do this. Okay, I apologize for the skip. I had to do this off camera because it was hard to do with one hand, especially when you have your freaking cat on your legs. Yes, I'm talking about you. But anyway, she's over there now, finally, and I was able to get this out of the box, out of the brown box, that is. And yeah, so here's the front of the box. Very nice. Good look at the figure, promo image. Very stunning. Iconic moment again. Here's the top of the box. Alright. If the camera will focus, there we go. Side of the box. Just a continuation. Other side. Another promo image of the figure. Bottom of the box. Very nice. That is really nice. And now the back of the box. If I can carefully. Yes, okay. There we go. Some promo images of the figure. Very nice. Two tail tip pieces. The beams. The interchangeable head, upper jaw and lower jaw to be specific, which is really nice. A little fire blast in the movie before it turns into the beam. He's got this fire blast, and then it comes with a base and the stand if you just want the blast itself, and then of course the beams from his mouth and from his tail. Very, very nice. Beautiful range of accessories. And I recently unboxed the Fortnite combat version of Shin Godzilla from Tamashii Nations recently, so definitely go check that out. And I'm definitely gonna try to compare the two. And yeah, for now, let's get this guy out of the box. So give me a second. All right, let's get this show on the road. All right, this figure was released back in 2017, back when they were getting ready for Godzilla Monster Planet. Really nice film. Underrated trilogy, but you know, there's that, and there is the figure itself, and I can see the accessories as well. Man, I am excited for this guy. So what are we waiting for? Let's get him out of the box. His cardboard prison, his plastic prison, whatever you want to say. My chips. Okay, let's see if I can do this smoothly. Probably not. I can move my chips out of the way. Okay. Alright. There is Shin himself. And here is the accessories. Alright. So I got this from I bought this on eBay from a Japanese seller so shout out to him for getting me on this. It wasn't cheap, definitely was not cheap, but that's kind of my fault for picking up this guy so late. And yeah, nonetheless, with the amount of accessories he has, it's understandable why he's so expensive, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, here's the accessories. Let's see, I'm gonna actually do this off camera real quick, so I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the instructions for all the accessories. Very nice. And here's the accessories themselves. Here's the base of the blast. Very nice. Here is the fire blaster. Very, very nice. That is so cool. Yep. Here's tail tip piece. Alright. The lower jaw part that's split open. I mean, not open, but split. Very detailed, very nice. A metallic paint. Beautiful work done from Tamashii Nations. And the top, the upper jaw with the eyes covered in that protective silver eyelids, or whatever you call it from in the movie, to cover his eyes when he's about to use his blast. Very nice touch. And of course, the beams. Here's one of them, and here's the other one. Very, very nice. And now, moment of truth. Will anything fall off when I pull him out? Let's see. Okay, so far so nice. Alright, looks like we're in the clear. I'm gonna need a place for him to stand so I can pull out this and the protective plastic. Oh, I see some tape. Alright, give me a second. Okay, so unfortunately, after I got him out, this arm, this hand popped out, or fell out, I guess. and then the lower jaw as well. But other than that, nothing else fell off, and putting them back was pretty easy to do, especially the hand. Very easy to put back on. And then yeah, everything else seems to be fine. He seems to be stiff enough. The tail drips a little bit, but barely anything. And even if it was too much, then I have stands to hold his tail up. If this camera will not focus, I swear to God, there we go. This camera, I swear to God, does not want to focus for me. And the eyes are actually beautifully done. This fucking camera won't focus. Come on. If you guys can see, the eyes are perfectly symmetrical. Look at that. Perfectly symmetrical. Even more than the fourth night combat version that I just recently unboxed. That is rare for an SH MonsterArts figure. And man, those dorsal fins are beautifully done. Look at them. Just absolutely beautiful. And translucent too. Okay, so here he is, and I will say, unfortunately, his tail does drip just a bit down. Just a bit. Obviously, he's not doing it right now, as you can see, but trust me, it does drip down just a little bit right now. Obviously, again, it's not doing it, making me look like a liar, but anyways. So how do you use the beams, you might be asking? Well, as you can see, if the camera will focus, come on. Okay, well, there's holes, little holes in each beam, and you get this little tiny peg that you attach onto like a support stand. And let me see if I can find the hole. Yep, there it is. Of course you guys can't see it because this camera won't freaking do its job. But anyways, and there you go, just like that. And here's another cool thing. So right now he has his alternate tip tail piece displayed with the jaw. The mouth on the tail is open. Let me see if I can bring him up carefully, because he does feel a lot more fragile than the fourth night combat version that I unboxed the other day. Again, check that out. Solid figure. Probably my best Godzilla figure, to be honest. Anyways, so again, he has this alternate tail piece where the jaw of the mouth is open. If this camera will focus, there we go. And there's a little hole in it. And one of these beams is specifically for the tail. It's this one. Yep, this one. So oh my god. The beams are so thin, the camera won't freaking pick it up. Come on. So as you can see, this one has a flat piece, flat tip. So you pretty much stick it in the tail tip. Let me see if I can do it right now. Yeah, no, I have to do that off camera, but you pretty much attach that one to the tip of the tail and it'll hold by itself. And I'll try that out in a bit. But for right now, you can also use the stand without the tail tip piece. Let me get this little tip out of the way. Okay, so as I was saying, you don't need this for that. You just need a normal peg. And you see this blaster? Well, let me see if I can find it. There's a hole. You can just plug it in and use like that. That's if, of course, you don't want to use the base to like stick it like this and have Godzilla pose as if he's blasting the ground like he did in that iconic moment in the movie before it turns into this destructive beam. If you just want to have the blaster, then there's a hole, plug it in. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. But yeah, that's what it would look like. I'll try that out in a bit. And lastly, the other tail piece. Personally, I'm gonna leave this one on because I'm probably gonna have him displayed shooting his beam from the tail. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna display him shooting his other beam from the mouth, or I'm gonna have him blast his fire blaster. But these pieces, how do we attach these pieces, you might ask? Very simple. You just gotta detach these two pieces. And I'm gonna try that out right now. Gonna put these on and then I'll be right back. Okay, so here he is with the alternate pieces for his head to mimic him shooting his atomic breath or blasting his fire blaster. Very nice job indeed. And I have to say, the paint on this guy for the purple is beautifully well done all over his body. If the camera will show, beautifully done. Look at that metallic purple on him. Just beautiful, man. And then again, his protective eyelids that are silver. Very nice. Very nice. I don't know, man. This is a really nice one. Again, he does feel a lot more fragile though compared to the other Shin that I have, Fortnite Combat version. Yeah, okay. So now I'm gonna try to show you off what he will look like with his accessories. So I'll be right back. So here he is displayed with his beam coming out of his mouth. Very nice. Very nice. Awesome, I must say. This is really nice. And I'm going to put on his other tail beam in a moment. And I'm going to display him with his blaster as well. So I'll be right back. Alright, so here he is with his blaster on the stand, as well as his tail beam on his tail. Very nice. And yeah, so last thing to do is display him blasting his fire blaster in the ground, which was the first phase and then for his atomic breath in the movie. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Alright, and here he is blasting the ground to smithereens, just like in the movie, lighting the whole city of Tokyo in fire. And this is a beautiful pose. Beautiful pose, look at that. Just, man. I don't know, I might actually display him like this. I don't know, there's just something about this that's so dynamic. So freaking cool. Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. I might seriously pose him like this. This is really, really nice. I might add in the tail beam too. I don't know, but I might actually do this. This is really, really nice. I love Shin Godzilla so much. You guys know this already from my previous video, Godzilla -1. Still my favorite movie, but when it comes to Godzilla himself, Shin Godzilla is still my favorite version of Godzilla himself. And having this figure is just awesome to have, along with the Fortnite Combat version, which I have of Shin Godzilla, which I'm going to compare the two in a bit. But very, very nice figure, I gotta say. He does feel a little bit more fragile. He is a bit more loose when it comes to articulation. Articulation pretty much is exact same, just like the Fortnite Combat version. So if you saw that video already, which you should check it out if you didn't. But if you did, articulation is pretty much the same. Again, I can't really show off the articulation that much with just one hand, but nonetheless, let's get straight into size comparisons. So I'll be right back. Okay, so starting off the comparisons, here he is compared to the MonsterArts Shin Godzilla, the Fortnite combat version. And pretty interesting comparison between the two. Same sculpt, paint apps just the only difference. And their tails compared to each other. Very nice comparison. Again, this one, the Awakening's eyes are more asymmetrical. They're perfect. Meanwhile, this one, one eye is leaning a bit forward and the other one's a bit up. But nonetheless, it's Shin Godzilla, so it doesn't really matter that much as long as it's not too chaotic between the eyes. But right now, they're both perfectly fine, especially this one. But nonetheless, pretty nice comparison between the two. If my camera will focus, there we go. And my cat has been in the background for the whole time. Sleepyhead. And yeah, on to the next comparison. And then up next, here he is compared to the Bandai movie monster series Shin Godzilla. And pretty nice comparison here as well. Clear difference in paint and sculpt. But nonetheless, nice comparison. And then up next, here he is compared to the Figuarts Iron Man Mark 85 5 years later edition from 2023. Very nice comparison. Shin Godzilla is a big boy, as you can see. Very nice comparison between the two. And lastly, as usual, we gotta have a Dragon Ball figure. And here is the demoniacal fit Son Goku. Very nice comparison. As you can see, again, Shin is a big boy compared to Goku. Very nice comparison there. And I guess one more comparison between my cat, sort of. And yeah, those are size comparisons. And now, for those of you who are questioning which figure do I like more between the two MonsterArts Shin Godzilla figures, the Awakening version and the Fortnite combat version. Again, nice comparison between the two. If my camera will focus. Yep. Honestly though, I honestly love them both. They're really, really nice figures. Beautiful sculpt. The sculpt is just magnificent. Articulation is pretty much the same. Paint wise, to me it's pretty much the same level. They're both really, really good in their own ways. And again, articulation is the same, sculpt the same, so everything's the same on that part. However, Awakening comes with a bunch more accessories, and that is true. However, what is concerning me a bit is how loose, how fragile he feels compared to Fortnite combat version. Like, he isn't 100% stiff. Again, his tail obviously doesn't show right now, but his tail does drip a bit down when you have him posing in a certain way with his tail. Right now I have his tail sort of leaning up, and pretty for the most part it's holding on its own. But the lower jaw, I will say, is extremely loose. I'll have to say that. It's not a big deal because it holds on, but like when you move it a bit, like if you touch it a bit, it will move. Yep, it will move pretty easily. But again, it does hold itself up. Alright, I'm back from a quick snack break from my chips and my Coke. Anyways, as I was saying, he is more loose in specific areas, mainly the lower jaw. The lower jaw and not really the tail, surprisingly. Like it's not, nothing has popped off from the tail. That is surprising. Because I've seen a lot of videos of not this figure, but like the very first version of Shin Godzilla. His tail popped off so constantly with everyone who had him. So really nice that nothing's popping off. Everything's very stiff. Well, not very stiff. It's stiff enough, but it does droop down a bit here and there. But this guy, he is perfectly fine. And so because of that, I do have to say, as much as I love both figures, they are fantastic. Nonetheless, these are beautiful figures to have. I will say though, I am enjoying the fourth combat version a little bit more, just because I don't have to worry about pieces falling off or anything. No loose joints at all. Whereas Awakening, his lower jaw is a bit concerning, how loose it is. But that's pretty much it. So overall, the only reason why I'm leaning towards this figure a little bit more is because how perfectly stiff he is. Like perfectly stiff. I don't have to worry about any joints popping off or anything. Nope, not on this guy. This guy is solid. And yeah, he comes with no accessories, but he's not the atomic breath version, so we don't really need any accessories, even though he is expensive. But if you have buildings lying around you, which I do have, they're good to go. Display them in the middle of a city, and you're good to go. Now for him, outstanding figure nonetheless. Don't get me wrong. Beautiful range of accessories. And I'm definitely having him displayed somewhere in my main display. Blasting his laser from his tail, and I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do from the mouth, whether it's going to be the blaster or the other beam. But I'm definitely having a lot of fun posing him around. But I will say, between the two, I slightly prefer this one just a bit more. But nonetheless, I really like this figure a lot nonetheless. So yeah, if you're a Shin Godzilla fan, a diehard Godzilla fan, whatever, if you want a definitive Shin Godzilla figure, I would have to say go with the MonsterArts Shin Godzilla Fortnite combat version. If you just want a definitive Shin Godzilla figure, if you don't have any Shin Godzillas, or if you just want one definitive figure, I'd say this is the one to go. Again, this is just me. You're free to choose whatever you want, but just know they're both expensive as hell. And consider the fact that he comes with accessories and he does not. So do take that. Do keep in mind of that. But if you already have a normal Shin Godzilla, whether it's this one or the original, and you're looking to pick up another Shin, in that case, I recommend you go with the Awakening version. It comes with loads of accessories. This is the Atomic Breath version, and if you already have a base Shin, you can't go wrong with an Atomic Breath version, because this guy is beautifully done. Both of them are, and he comes with a lot of accessories, so you cannot go wrong with that. Again, keep in mind, they're both expensive as hell. So choose what you want to choose. I'm just saying, if you want a definitive Shin Godzilla, go with this one. If you already have a base Shin figure, and you want another one, definitely go with the Awakening version. You cannot go wrong with this figure at all. Both of these figures are phenomenal. So huge shout out to Tamasha Nations, SH MonsterArts, because these are beautifully done, fantastic figures, definitely. And so that was my unboxing for the SH MonsterArts Shin Godzilla, the 4th Awakening version. And beautiful figure to have in my collection. I'm super happy, super happy to have him in my collection. And I cannot wait to start posing him for my display. One of my main displays. He's gonna go so well in my display. I still have to decide which beam or blaster I'm gonna have for his mouth. Obviously I'm gonna have the tail beam, but as for his mouth, I'm not sure which one. But anyways, super happy to have him in my collection. And this is a figure I've been wanting for years, but I'd never had a chance to pick him up with everything going on in my life. But now he's finally here, and I'm super happy to finally have him in my collection. I am a huge Shin Godzilla fan. I'm a diehard Godzilla fan for life, and I love Shin Godzilla. This version of Godzilla, still my #1 favorite incarnation of the character, and this was a must buy for me, and I'm super happy to have him. So yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and or subscribe. Y'all stay safe out there, and yeah, I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.